Okay, I think 3 sails is enough. And yeah,
Yeah.
if you're on anchor duty, we're probably in a fine spot.
I did lose my ore last time, so don't have that anymore. Oh, but
Uh,
I can make a new one.
yeah, it's
That's pretty
just,
easy.
wait, what? Why did I stop? Oh, because it's wet.
Oh,
You know, that would be an amusing perk. Exude an aura of dryness.
well, I think you can become dry. And it might be because we're wet is why we're having this issue, right? I'm pretty close to being full on that soaking wet thing, though. Is it more rainy on the ocean? Is that part of it?
I think so, yeah.
Are you watching the map? We're about to hit a peninsula.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. I just
The
wasn't
problem is
sure.
also the sails do not rotate.
I know. That's why I was telling you in advance.
Well, no, it's, like, visually they don't rotate much.
Oh, yeah.
So I'd already kind of corrected the steering.
Stayed wet. Oh, that one's worth 5 points.
Do I have that one yet?
What should I be spending these points on, anyways? I could be immune to freezing.
Oh, yeah, I already have soaking wet. Hey.
Immune to freezing.
Oh, 8 food warmed themselves 10 times.
So if you take the cold resist perk, you immediately get that perk.
Nice. So if you respec and get the other one,
I was just about to try that.
yeah, give it a go. Yep, there you go. That's convenient.
Cool. I mean, it wouldn't be worth
Oh,
it
can you
unless
put
you
some
could...
can you put some fuel into the light on top of the mast?
Okay. What
We've
is
got
fuel?
dark-
Anything?
Just anything.
Okay.
Yeah, we got just little dark hands. I don't think they're
Wait,
actually
what?
going to bother our boat right now. Oh no, they might. Watch out for that.
Oh, they do take the fuel.
Oh, is that what they're doing? Unfortunately, I have no idea if there's a way to...
They disappeared.
Oh, okay. Maybe just had to get close. We're good. So yeah, if you step on the face on the side of the boat, it'll go away.
Oh, it's the face. Okay. Okay, that's good to know. I'm glad we have learned this thing.
Yep, there you go.
I guess that's my job, isn't it? I have to pay attention instead of just looking at the achievements.
Yep. Really need to put more points into that cold insulation.
I mean, immune to freezing. Just saying.
Yeah, that's 20
I think what's funny
points
though
now.
is immune to freezing doesn't stop the effect around the edge of my screen.
See, that's the thing. I need the effect to go away.
Yeah, right. The damage is not so bad.
Yep. I didn't even think about putting a lightning rod.
Yeah, I was calamitous.
Yup. But
yeah.
got us the achievement. We didn't lose too much.
The reason I think of Seku, Washington, though, is it's one of the towns that was on the Olympic Peninsula there. And it's a
Okay.
population of like 26. And of course, you know, I think it probably comes to mind just because like Washington and Olympic
Oh, I
National
lost my
Park are
bulk
just-
help stock. That's what I lost.
Oh. Well, that can't be the worst thing you lost. I guess maybe it was.
Yeah, it might have actually been.
Wow. Here, I just
Oh,
like
well.
lost some of my Thule site stuff, and you're just like, well,
It didn't seem so bad. It's okay.
yeah.
We can get another bulk help stock, no problem. But yeah, we did a hike a year ago. No, 2 years ago for PAX. Because we were visiting, and it was like, yeah, is there anything interesting to do? And the answer was, go to the Olympic National Park, and it was quite pretty.
Yeah. Did you find any banana slugs?
I don't think so. It was pretty dry that weekend. And so it would surprise me if they had been out during the daytime. Like, it was hot. The thing I remember most about it was that there was an egregious number of those, like, rent-a-bikes that people had just abandoned up, like, halfway up a particularly steep hill.
Oh,
You want to grab me that bulk kelp stock? Like, right there?
I don't think this... I'm getting
Oh, that's
soggy
just kelp.
fronds instead of the actual bulk kelp stock, and I can only examine the bulk kelp. So I think we got to get to
Okay.
land where it...
Good to know. Well, maybe it'll still be...
Well, I guess we're not, like, guaranteed that's necessarily...
Are you trying to invest in...
I was bringing my speed up to where yours was so I could keep up with you. But yeah, the thing that like was just interesting about Seki, Washington is population like annually was like 26 or something like that. But then like it's a big fishing town, so like the summer population for it swells to a huge number. And most of those people spend it at like a number of hotels and like campgrounds that are like all packed in this one area. But because it was such a tourist area, they had these like little statues. And, you know, the first one you see it's kind of like a person. You're like, that. There's something about the art that's just like a little bit off and unusual about this town. And we like went in further and we were like kind of started seeing other statues and they started to be fish people instead of real humans. So the joke for us was that the fish had risen from the sea like in Annihilation and had taken over the tourist industry.
You found Innsmouth.
Innsmouth?
Isn't it Innsmouth? The, it's the place where all of the Dagon worshippers live in most Lovecraftian media.
Oh. Feels about right.
Okay, we burnt somewhere up over here. What are the fish people called? I've totally forgotten. It's like, I keep telling myself I should probably read some H.P. Lovecraft, but then I remember that he is a terrible racist, and then I lose interest.
Yeah, that's how I've often felt too. I think one of the things that I think was interesting about him, though, was the choice to not...
Okay,
Is this all our stuff?
you wanna drop... Yeah, can you drop the sail?
I guess I animation canceled that.
Oh, we really didn't lose too much.
You got my pickaxe axe, though, right?
Yeah. Did I just lose spiderweb? Is that the only thing? Because I got my gold pickaxe back.
Didn't you have my pickaxe, too? Oh, you gave it to me. The other one I lost was a Thulsite club.
Didn't see that. So, possible it drifted, possible it's just gone.
That's fine. I don't really need it.
Plus, we can make more.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, that was easy. Alright. Hey, you can probably put up the sails at this point. Or put them down.
Okay. We're not like 100%. That's...
Oops.
We really should have checked more in that.
Anchor real quick.
We still take damage. But way less damage.
Way less.
Should I bring it back up?
Yeah, you can bring it back up. It's just... We were going full speed ahead, and I was like, oh, this should be fine. And then suddenly just rocks, and it's like, oh. It'd be nice if I had, like, a button to lower the anchor while steering.
I took the thing to make us immune to wetness. Oh, but you know what I don't have is any light radius anymore.
Well, I have light radius, so you're safe at least while we're on this boat.
But what if we really don't know where we're going now?
Yeah, we're totally lost. I was just gonna kind of aimlessly sail for a bit.
Sure, yeah. Kind of maybe almost see what's out there.
It would be nice if there was an upgrade that specifically increased our map reveal radius.
Yeah. I feel like I'm not getting my bang for my buck out of, like, all this light radius upgrades.
Wait, hold up.
See something?
I know where it is.
Oh, how? Someone tell you?
Can you get the person?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Was
So
it
I
raising
actually
a
just
sail?
I actually just looked it up. To find the Looter Island, look for a part of the map's edge that looks unnaturally cut off. It'll have a completely straight line. Sail perpendicular to that. That's south of us.
Oh. I was looking for them. There seem to be a few different locations.
Yeah, but the one below us is super straight. All the other ones,
Are we talking
I mean,
at that, like, desert?
could be the desert, could be straight south of us. You're right. So there are 2, maybe 3 notable places where it's cut
What do
off.
you mean by
but
south? How do you know what south is?
we are. What are you doing?
Oh, sorry. I was distracted looking at the map. No one said anchor
I was looking at the anchor too.
at the map.
At the map too. All right. Oh, you wanna raise the anchor?
Let's do this with the anchor down. Let's take it slow.
Really, the answer is just we need. Oh. We just need only one of 2. We need one of the sails probably back up. I think 3 is just too fast with all these rocks in this area.
Okay. Bring it to 2.
Yeah. We've also got one of those horror plants coming in.
Oh. Oh, yeah. I really wish I brought a better ranged weapon.
I don't know if there are.
I wish this game had ranged weapons.
Yeah, I know there's a mod for a bow, but I haven't bothered grabbing it yet. If we do another session of this, I might.
I like how I killed that, like, koalafant,
Yeah?
and now I'm just walking around with its trunk and
Gross.
all of its meat just on my person. My achievement points are having a slow battle with my sanity. Why is it going down, though? Is it the hat? Does this bee queen crown reduce my sanity?
No, it's one of the best sanity regen items in the game.
Why is my sanity going down? Oh, it's probably because I'm still wet, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
being wet makes you lose it.
Yeah, because I took the achievement to be immune to wetness, but it didn't immediately undo the effect.
Alright, let's see if we get lucky here. Otherwise, we're gonna have to go elsewhere.
And how far does this ocean go?
Map's edge, maybe?
Feels like potentially ways. Do you need anchor?
Nope,
No, we'll
I think
be
we're
fine.
good. Anchor. Anchor.
We could just get up close and kill it.
We could. They all start shooting at us, though.
That's true. That worked pretty poorly last time. All right, what do you want? Anchor up?
I was gonna do one sail.
One
for
sail?
this.
All right. I got it.
Because it looks like there's a fair bit of stuff here, and we have to go around. Oh, it loops when we go over the edge of the map. Well, that's actually kind of handy. Because it's either here or on the opposite side.
But is it that the Earth is a sphere? Or is it that it's a flat Earth with periodic boundary conditions?
Definitely latter. Ooh. And in a bottle. You want to grab that?
I feel like it's 100% the thing we got before, but I'll pick it up again.
Yeah, I figure...
Oh. That was a different quote than last time. That's funny.
Yeah, but same place.
Yeah, I just didn't even reveal anything.
Okay.
I feel like we're the duo from Tales of Earthsea.
I still haven't read that. I watched the movie, and I was kind of okay about it.
I think that's how Ursula K. Le Guin felt about the movie, so... Good chance you might feel differently, considering she certainly did.
Oh. This looks weird. Oh, hey.
That doesn't feel like a loop.
Tally-ho!
What's gonna happen, do you think?
Oh, that's what's happening. Anchor?
I got it. Well, that...
Was not what I was expecting.
Yeah. I mean, I was expecting something way worse. And let's be clear, number one, flat Earth theory with a lower flat Earth below us. We're like in the middle of Bitopia from like Dungeons and Dragons, like that place. Except instead of having the two facing each other, we've just got one kind of above the other one.
Well, at least we know there's no, like, super far ocean, and we can just kind of sail around. You can probably give us the third sail. We might bonk, but...
How many repair kits you got? I got none.
I got 5. Here, you want to take over sailing for a bit? You steer. I'll work on making some more repair kits. Whoa!
Whew. We did it.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, you gave me some just in case.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make some more. Why don't you get us around these rocks, and then I'll raise the anchor. I think we're good.
Maybe 3 is too many for the night, though.
Yeah.
I feel like we're full-on Titanic in this situation.
Let's do 2. 2 seems reasonable. Go up.
Oh.
Yep. I'm just gonna be in a perpetual
See him
state
on the
of...
mini-map. That's how you do it.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. It's not always the best, though. Sometimes you're going in a straight line, and good luck turning around them.
Yeah, but that's true during the day, too. Oh, you know what
holding
would
on to-
help?
Hey.
I was zoomed in on my character from earlier, and I just forgot to take that off.
We're headed straight for some rocks again. Yeah.
We're
Okay.
just gonna navigate.
This
just bring us
works?
down to like 1 sail with the anchor up, I think.
Well, I'm thinking what I do is I just sit here repeatedly raising and lowering the anchor real fast.
So that you can just like be in between both decisions.
Yep. Okay,
You're
so
kind
I
of
don't
like-
think the lunar island is out this direction.
Yeah, that's what I was feeling, was there were several points that were like this.
So down south might have something.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say that I'm like disappointed just kind of sailing around and seeing what's out here. The answer seems to be not like a ton though.
Yeah,
It's-
that
It's a little samey.
I would have hoped we would have found it by now, just because the core gameplay loop of sailing is tragically dull.
Yeah, I wonder how you'd like. I mean, I guess you had told me at one point that you kind of need to Like, really, the intention is that you do look stuff up for this game. Like, the developers,
Yeah.
like,
Oh
knew
yeah.
that was the plan.
This is not a game meant to be played blind.
Yeah.
And I think even the developers have said, you play this with a wiki.
Yeah.
We're not going to tutorialize it better.
But it is funny because that is not how I played it the first time.
Neither, me neither. And then I started playing with the wiki open and it got so much better.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's true. I guess I do wonder specifically what kind of the idea of a survival challenge game is, though. I guess it just gets down to, like, you take the challenge that you want to have instead of feeling, like, too locked into the decisions of the developers. Because ultimately, developers, I think they get to be choice architects about how the game is tuned and balanced, but they don't really necessarily
always
they're
have
not
the player's
necessarily
best
experts
interests at
in
heart. Well,
yeah, like what's fun.
the other thing is, a lot of developers kind of develop this weird, I'm going to say it's a mixture of Stockholm Syndrome and pure expertise with this game, with any game. And so, weird design decisions, odd bugs, even tutorialization, they made it, they know. And so, it's not infrequent that I run into a developer that, like, straight up just didn't add, like, a feature or tutorialize a thing that for them was super common sense, but for me it's just like, I had no idea until you popped into chat to tell me that this thing existed. And that's real risky. Most developers figure it out, and most games are pretty self-explanatory, but every once in a while I run into something where I'm just like, can't do that.
What's a good example, like, of something that you just, like, would have never thought of, and it wasn't really available information within the context of the game? I guess, are these things that you could have looked up?
No. In a lot of cases, it's the developer has no wiki. And, you know, it's just like a super small indie game. Gosh, I'm trying to remember which game it is exactly. There was a...
Signs of the Sojourner certainly feels like it has a couple things like that. But I feel like that's mostly... Really, it's like you need to replay it, but the game doesn't let you, like, save. So replaying it is kind of like just replaying the whole game, including the less interesting parts. And
yeah, that felt like a game that should have just had saving and reloading. I think I would have stuck with it if I could have.
Yeah, I mean, I can see an argument for it, but what I want is not to, like, repeat the run, but I want to just kind of, like, explore the various avenues of the run. Because it's not like FTL where you, like, there's enough replayability of the early parts of the game as the later. Like, it really becomes thanks.
Yep.
It really becomes like that first, specifically the first leg of Signs of the Sojourner is.
Yeah.
I feel it has to basically always be the same.
Yeah.
But what exactly? Because what you're describing is different than that, though.
Yeah. There are a couple of roguelikes that I've played specifically that have, I'm going to say, trap items and trap mechanics.
Oh.
Where
are trap items and trap mechanics, like...
They can work, but, like, the thing is, it has to be useful.
Useful in an edge case sort of way, or...
Yeah. Oh, no, I think we're good, actually. So, easy example would be Ipecac in Binding of Isaac. Normally, a trap item, it makes your shots have an arc and explode, which experienced players can utilize that in a really good way, but not experienced players are probably going to kill themselves with it, especially if they combine it with a couple other things. I've definitely played like a couple of roguelikes where the developer will straight up just have a trap item that they just included as a joke or not a useful thing, or like it's super situational, and any normal run, if you pick it, you just lose. Oh, here's one that actually most recently that annoyed me. Risk of Rain 2 has a shield generator item. Gives you bonus HP.
Oh, yeah.
Really useful for doing glass runs. Because, you know, it just increases your HP. But you'd never want it on a totally regular run because it removes one-shot protection.
Oh.
And you wouldn't know that unless somebody either told it to you or you looked it up on the wiki. Turn?
Yeah, suddenly this is... Kind of curved off really sharply there.
And so I started playing it recently with my friends, and somebody showed up to say, like, yeah, do not ever pick up that item. It's a complete noob trap. And it's just like...
Yeah, only for glass runs, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And it makes sense, like, once I know about it, but it's kind of infuriating because it is such a convenient-seeming item. You know, increase your maximum HP by, like, a small amount as kind of like a separate HP bar.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense suddenly. Right, because it's such a specific niche thing that's so, like, relevant all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't... Okay,
I don't think the Lunar
sense.
Island's down here.
No, I think it's actually probably where we started.
Yep.
I think I had it right the first time, and we just didn't go far enough out like I had been worried about. Because I think, as I'm understanding it more, I think they probably smoothed the island generation better. I bet one of the updates made that wiki page entry out of date. And these days, like, the way that you check it is not based off the, like, cuts of the land, but it probably has to do more with just the space within the map is very square. And we've just got, like, a chunk out of it on one side, and that's, like, the one to look for.
Yep.
And the chunk used to just be cut, and now it's, Oh.
Rock. Could have been worse.
Could have been worse.
Now, if only nanites actually applied to the boat.
The boat?
Yeah.
Are you just looking stuff up on the wiki now, or?
No, I'm just waiting.
Oh, okay. I can't help but notice there have been a couple moments where...
We got close.
No, where there's been one of those shadow guys.
Oh,
and...
you know what? Whoop.
Good.
Oh.
We did it.
Dang.
We are immortal.
That was shockingly close.
There's something really good to me about, like, his eyes with their very serious set tone kind of peering right above the wheel.
Up. Left.
But how do I feel about Wilson as a gentleman scientist?
Do you feel a kindred nature in his...
No, not really, because, like, I'm certainly not a very gentleman scientist, right? Like, ultimately, some people would call me a sellout, specifically for having, like, not pursued academia after my PhD.
At flip side, I feel like gentlemen scientists don't work in academia. They're the weirdos that have, like, their own private lab in their
yeah,
basement.
but I'd say that they existed during a time where academia didn't exist. And kind of, I guess the way that, like, they existed was they already had money, or they came from, like, enough privilege that, like, the money wasn't really important. And these days, like, you know, I think the money is not an important decision. Well, okay, maybe there's two parts of this, because there's one part is the people who, like, aren't wealthy, but the money is still not important to them. And just to be clear for all the viewers, I didn't make that decision primarily based off the money. It was mostly kind of not being a really good fit within an academic environment for my particular interests. But for a gentleman scientist here, you know, the interest is only science, which does bring people into academia.
Left.
But oh, there's another rock. But yeah, I guess maybe the best example these days is actually people like D.E. Shaw, who, after, like, making a lot of money with their finance company, has...
Okay, get off that. We gotta fight.
Ah, you got it. You got it. They don't destroy the boat, do they? Oh,
yeah,
they totally
they
do.
will.
Cool. All right. I mean, we don't need to, like, go through this. We can go around this. But yeah, like, there's several cases actually of people in finance who, after, like, making lots of money in finance, created companies or just like research like nonprofits just to like do science. And these are typically academics who left
I've been in the
academia
industry for a while.
and went, often I think even professors who started like finance firms.
So
I guess they're kind of like
to fight these guys is they give us cookie cutter shells, which we need to make the hermit hut. I don't actually know how much we care, though.
Do we know what that's for?
Nope, but we need 10 of them.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose I like that he's a scientist. I like the idea of the scientist existing within this realm of the supernatural and trying to, like, piece it together.
Yeah.
I do kind of wish he wasn't the vanilla option. I have been regretting that just a little bit, seeing your character having flowers growing out of him or fun stuff like that.
I picked Wormwood just because he had the neat visual effects. And because I'd played most of the other characters. Apparently the single player has like a lot more interesting ones, but if I ever play this again,
okay.
I'll probably start just playing wild modded characters. Like
I saw
Hollow
one
Knight.
like you could play like the Monkey King.
Yeah.
I thought that looked fun.
I don't think there's any shame for going into any industry necessarily for the money. You just have to not have it be your only motivating factor.
Well, I mean, honestly, even if it is the only motivating factor, I feel like I've become more okay with it over time as long as it's not something where you're like letting your ethics be compromised by the money.
I've
Because
run into a number of people lately who have very clearly just gone into X thing for the money.
Yeah, but like I don't know, like if that's what it was, but it's like a good service that I guess I feel a little bit mixed about ones where like I think medical doctors in particular.
Yeah.
Feels like it's a little bit of a trickier issue because like it's people's lives are very like much affected by this in a real way, and
I think the thing is you are much more likely to not burn out but become slowly like more jaded and bad at your job. I think
I think certainly worker engagement is like like 33% or something like that. And I think if the only thing is money, it turns out those sorts of extrinsic motivators don't tend to keep engagement very well. And I think that's the most dangerous aspect of it. And I'd say like, if you're a disengaged like worker, but you're still kind of doing what you're supposed to be, it's not a big issue unless you're like a paramedic or a medical doctor or some other situation where kind of being on 100% of the time while you're on the job is like necessary.
To be fair, paramedics do not actually get paid nearly as much as they should nowadays.
Oh no, I assume most paramedics probably, because the pay is relatively low, it's not like a common choice. But I'm just thinking of in general professions where you're doing it because it's a job versus like you're in some way motivated for it. But it's tough because like, what if you think you're going to be motivated and you go through med school and you find out you're not? Like, you stop being a doctor? Like, I don't think you can. You're in too much debt. Like, if you're good enough, like, then maybe that's okay, right? It's not really that bad that you're in it for the money as long as you are engaged with it, I guess.
I think that always kind of wraps up in my head of like, that's probably why higher education should be less debt-inducing.
Oh, yeah. Right. I think, I guess there's two parts of it. One is like, there's a lot of countries where you wouldn't have to go into such massive debt to go to medical school. And I've talked to some of my friends who are doctors about this, and I think there's one way of looking at it, which is just higher education in the U.S. is very expensive just based off something of like an arms race of like the amenities you need to provide. But honestly, I think another big part of it is it's expensive because they can charge that much, but there's like nothing stopping it, and that there's that much money to be made. So there's a strong like motivation to it. But I think there's like definitely a final darker side of like, if you make it really expensive, then only like certain people can get into it, and that like makes it kind of exclusive.
Yes.
And I don't know how much that like factored in directly into the decision when it was made, but I can see why there would be fewer people fighting it, knowing that it helped them get into school that it was hard to pay for people who had less money than them. Certainly the residency programs and how they're outlined
Oh.
can be engineered
up.
to create shortages so that certain professions, particularly in certain specific surgical fields, have
I
shortages.
see one other
to
section
increase
that
pay.
looks like the land might have been cut off, which is just north of us. Whoops.
Okay, I think we should take down one of these sails now. Oh, yeah. No, I was working through. I thought this would be close enough, but I think I'm just gonna go into this big chunk of like nothingness here.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure it's here, maybe a little bit further west.